Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record every Mondays at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time. If you enjoy the channel, please hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on and you will get an email link with this full episode. And if you want to submit to this show, take a look at the information in the description.
All right. So we're playing 5-5 in San Diego, 7 miles. A young player who looks aggressive and identifies himself as a semi-pro. He told me he has a part-time. Yeah, he has a part-time job, but he makes more money from poker. That's what he told
He
me.
identifies himself as a semi-pro. First of all, how deep are the stacks? Sorry, this is funny.
Okay. He has about 2,500.
Okay.
He's under the gun.
Okay.
And he opens to 20. I have 900. I'm in middle position with ace-10 of hearts.
Okay.
I call. And then a cut of button and small blind, they all call.
All right. So under the gun, 20. Hero is in MP1 with ace of hearts, 10 of hearts, and a $900 stack. Calls. And then the button and the big blind call. Is that right? Button and big blind?
Cut off, button, and small blind.
Cut
By the way.
off, button, and small blind call. So ace 10 suited. Pretty good hand. This is yes, it's of the suited variety, but this is part of the reason why you would 3-bet this hand so that you can drive some of the people out behind you. Even though it's suited, you're still going to benefit from getting it heads up. And this is why, like, sort of that new school thought of early versus early or early versus mid position, you want to 3-bet off to get position behind you. I don't think it's a disaster, obviously, that the fact that you called and the cutoff and the button, the small blind call. And sometimes in really loose games, you wonder if there's actually more value in calling with the suited ace because people are playing weak aces and you can overflush them and they're so bad post-flop. So, okay.
And they play all the 10 jack suited and they play the Anyway, the flop comes king of hearts, queen of clubs, and jack of hearts.
Wow, so you flop everything here with ace 10 of hearts.
Yeah, we flop that.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty good.
The small blind checks.
Okay.
The semi-pro, he bets 60 to 100.
Wow. I mean, if he knows what's going on here, he should be, I mean, this should be set here, right? Like, I mean, if you put yourself in this spot, I mean, are you betting aces or ace king here? It just seems really,
I am not. But
yeah.
You never know.
No,
anyway,
I know, of
call.
course, yeah.
Yeah. I call.
Hero calls, okay.
Folds up. Okay. Fold after me.
Yep.
And the small blind makes it. The small blind has 1,500 effective.
Okay.
Effective, not with me. Effective with a semi pro.
Right.
Check raises to 260.
All right. So before we go on here, I just want to look at your hand as a pure call here, and I probably would call. I think that, again, I'm not a very large proponent of slow playing, but with the properties of your hand, where you basically have the nuts and the nut flush draw, there's really nothing. I think that there's value in sometimes like having somebody with a 10 hit a 9 here. Possibly a straight coming and you tying with someone and then getting it in with a free roll with a heart draw. There's a lot of things that actually can happen if you play this hand as a pull. Besides the fact that if the guy is any type of player, like the bet here, like what is he continuing to call with? Now, if that UTG range is always going to be hands that are going to continue here, then you could make a case for raising. But I just think depending on the level of your competition, there's a lot of good things that can happen here with a call because just of what can come out and the fact that you basically have all the draws covered. And these guys, like if you were really deep here, I would like a call here a lot. Now, when the small blind check raises to 260, now what does the pre-flop raiser do? Does he call?
Snap calls 260.
So he snap calls 260. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to fuck this up. I mean, the pot's like 620, and it's going to be 200 for you to call, right? So it's like 620, 200 for you to call, something like that. Maybe something. I mean, if you back jam here, any of these players that have if you were to back jam here, and I was any type of player and I was the small blind, I might even consider like folding 9-10 here, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess you could have the nut flush draw or a hand like Queen 10 of heart. I don't know, maybe I would talk myself into calling with 9-10. It really depends on the type of player, but here's another reason why you can call, or I would consider calling here. Not only the fact that your back jam looks so strong, is that you have 2 hearts in your hand, right? And you have the ace and you have the 10. So you block a fair amount of the action card killers that might come out, right? In the form of a heart, in the form of an ace, in the form of a 10. Obviously a 9 could come out. But all the cards below an 8 that are not hearts are blanks. So how many cards is that? That's what, 21 cards, right? Deuce through 8 is 7 cards times 3. 21 cards are blanks. So, I mean, you're gambling like that half the deck is going to be a blank, whereas maybe you would just be able to just get it in here. So, and like I said, it's kind of hard to screw this hand up, but usually when you have the draw and the nuts, you don't have to necessarily protect because of the fact that you block some of the action card killers. So you called?
The blanks are more.
Blanks are more?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I decided to call because I want to keep inside in the pot. If he has aces, if he has queen of hearts with a smaller heart, if someone has smaller flush draw, all these hands are dead against me.
Right.
So that's why I want to call. Anyway, the turn is the queen of spades.
So the turn's the queen of spades. By the way, the pot now is 7. It's like 880, right?
880.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now small blind bets 400.
Small blind bets 400. Okay.
Under the gun now thinks about it for a minute and calls because on the flop he snapped called. Now he thinks about it for 1 minute and calls.
880. Yeah. 260.
And
yeah.
Now we have a decision. So my thinking is that for me it's like all in. I have 600 and the bet is 400. I'm not calling. I'm going all in. If I go all in, I need to be correct 25% of time. 25% of time, none of them must have a full house.
Yeah, I mean, you would just you basically treat it you're right in the sense of what your stack size is. The way that I would look at this spot is that it would just you almost treat it like a $600 bet, right? Even though it's 400, let's look at this as a $600 bet, right? So 1480, 2080, you're getting like 3.5 to 1, right? So are you good here like 22% of the time, which would be about 1 out of 4.5 times? Are you good here 22% of the time? Are you good here 1 out of 4.5 times? I mean, I can't make this fold at this level.
What can the under the gun have?
Well, he could have Queen X of hearts, but he'd have to have like Queen 9 of hearts because you've got the. Yeah, I mean, there's only. Yeah, there's only. I mean, so you're just always saying that the guy under the gun has a boat here, basically, is what you're saying?
If he doesn't have aces and ace king, I mean.
Yeah.
And we also have the aggressor from the small blind. We must beat both of them.
The small blind's his small blind's bet is a little bit weird. No, I mean I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying because I don't. But I mean maybe the small blind's clueless and he just continues to do this with 9-10 because he's trying to protect against hearts, right? I understand what you're saying. I've seen a lot of shit at this level and I don't know if I'm going to hero fold here. And if you don't hero fold and you're beat against a boat, it can't be that bad. You know what I mean?
One thing I didn't tell you about the small blind is that although he's a reg there, he's kind of passive. And earlier in the session, he didn't 3-bet kings. So there is a chance that he has a sets also.
What, did he like check raise with like pocket jacks, pocket queens, like something like that?
Yeah. He has that too, not only the two pairs.
So what did you end up doing?
I folded.
Okay. And then did you get to see the hands?
Yes, the small blind, they went check, there was a blank on the river.
Okay.
Check. And the small blind had the queen 6 of hearts.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And the other guy mucked.
The other guy mucked.
Yes.
So this is what I'm talking about, man. This is the shit I'm talking about. That's why I was like, I don't know if I could fold here. I just see some wild shit. So the guy had queen 6 of hearts. He had a middle pair and a flush draw. He had that heart, which we thought was from the under the gun guy. Yeah, and then the under the gun guy probably had like aces or something, right?
Yeah. So they're both going dead.
Oh, man. You must have been kicking yourself, huh?
No, I know.
You weren't kicking yourself when you saw that turned over? I would have had to walk away from the table.
I was, but that's why I called the hand, because I from all the logical angles that I can see the hand, I cannot be good against two people. It's two of them. With one of them, okay, maybe he's crazy. It's two of them.
Well, and you might, and again, I mean, I don't want to be, I mean, you might be right here. Maybe you're not good here 1 out of 4.5 times. If you run this trial, right, like a lot, maybe this was, you're good here 1 out of 20 times, and this was just it, right?
And you said that the small blind should not have aces. The under the gun should not have aces from the c-bet. It's not. It's a guy called 260, and then he called 400 with me behind him.
Okay, that's true, Starvos, right? That is definitely true.
Yeah.
But remember what you said in the beginning of the call. The guy is a self-proclaimed semi-pro. That should tell you something.
I know.
Self-proclaimed.
I know.
This is why, like, you have to sometimes, like, when you're getting a price, you just call because you see wacky shit. But I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Hey, guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button, and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.